Okay, alright. So costing for the unit economics analysis of Jolly Foods, just about 3 or 4 weeks into the business, about 3.5 months ago. Okay, this is the draft. This is the first draft of the table of the sales record, daily sales summary. This is the first draft in this jotter. Then, before I further develop it into this final, and before I finally incorporate it into system for printout for efficient and accurate record. Alright, okay, this is the main. This was one of the most accurately relied on. I did the unit economics for like 3 days before I finally pick the final one to rely on. This was me trying, the issue of record keeping seems to be like a rocket science for micro enterprise, especially underserved, and most especially the less literate people at the bottom of the pyramid. So in this case, she is not an exception. So when I was orientating on record keeping, it seems difficult for her to implement. So I started what I call leading by example. So I started doing it myself and letting her witness it. And these are the record then. So by doing that, she was motivated, So I always write the name of the customer that bought the food, the number is. So by doing this for a few days, she became motivated, and with further continue, and with my further admonition or orientation, she buy into it, and she started keeping record properly, but not without additional challenges. Most especially in this case, this was the proper daily sales record I did for her. So she complained of the pain, so she complained of maybe the form is too long, is this and that. She might not be able to pen the record down on time, and a lot of what I consider as excuses then, though some factors are genuine, like when she is dealing with water. So selling food to customer and coming straight to this record to pen it down, to pen the sales down, might seem something that is not sustainable, considering that the water, she might need to wait for some time for the water to dry off, so that the book will not spoil from water spillage in few days. So that one is a genuine. Then another factor, when I finally decided that, when I finally computed it at final stage, she also complained of the cost, and that was the reason we paused it then. So I told her to continue to utilize the jotter, another jotter I gave her. So she complained of the cost when I informed her of the cost to print out after completing it on system. So the cost was about, let's say she will be using 2 pages per day, and that's about, let's say, 100 to 150 naira per day, and that is over 3,000 naira per month. So that was another factor then, before she started using record. So before she started using using this jotter, another jotter I gave her from one of my entrepreneurship program at the first last year. So let's see. So from the beginning, so let's see. So I made sure it wasn't easy, but I made sure, so that if you can't emulate these practices from the smallest stage of the business now, so what's the chances it will be easier for you to emulate in the long run when the food business expands? So based on that, I enforce all tactics to make sure she started taking proper record, and this is the outcome. So see the dates complete. And some stock inventory, raw material, record from raw material. These are also part of what I orientate your debts, your expenses. You must keep record of them all. Complete. So this is over 2 months record. Yeah, it's just that it's over 2 months complete, over 2 months record. Now from May ending. So moving forward now, we have passed through nano stage. We are presently at micro stage, and based on the current situation at my end of not getting funding for Reliver, so I'm planning to take it to another level now, to support her fully and take it to another level, to move it from micro to move it between micro and small now. And part of it, I have started implementing some growth strategy. For it now, part of it, I invested some money. One of it, which is this is a cooking. This is newly welded, newly fabricated cooking stands. Actually, we started by using gas. But when the price of gas became skyrocket, he stopped it. It wasn't sustainable in terms of profit anymore, so he stopped it. So she shifted to firewood completely. So we just made this just 3 days ago. This is part of the expansion strategy that I'm trying to implement for her. Since I am trying, I won't say I'm trying to, no, it can never be done. I won't say I'm trying to hibernate reliever. No. This is what I have committed my life into for 1.5 years now. But just putting it aside, since the funding is not coming as expected, to focus on this more, to focus on this Jollyfoods cottage business more than before. So that's one of the expansion strategy, the growth strategy. This is another one, the firewood, which they just supply. Before, she has been buying firewood in 300 naira, 200 naira. Apart from distress, it's not bringing enough profit in terms of economics of scales. So yesterday, for this, from the little fund I'm able to invest there to grow the business. So there are about 3 things, but that 2 I just show is enough. So if we are able to secure more funds, so we are going to turn this place. But I'm afraid if I'm able to get funding for Reliever, that's why I don't want to be too forward in terms of expansion, in terms of design. But this is the place we are using for Reliever Space Post Office. Yes, the first and pioneer. This is the place we are going to be using. This place is going to be with aluminium fabrication. So based on that, it's an extension of shells. Based on that, I will not be in terms of design, in terms of look, but in terms of just growth, customer reach, improvement of the business. I will do my best. But in terms of look or design, no, I won't try to touch that now because, oh my God, I might secure funding in the shortest possible time, irrespective of current status. And in that case, it will not make sense to demolish whatever design we have put in place for food in order to start Reliever branding for official commercial operation. Alright, so I just got my phone 2 days ago. I was able to fix it about 2 days ago. So otherwise, I ought to have been doing this documentation on the go, as in immediately as I was penning it down on paper. But because of lack of smartphone, then because of temporary issue, precisely rooted from being broke because of building Reliever, it's costing my savings and no alternatives. So finally, this is a fallback plan for Reliever. Yes, since the funding is not coming as expected, this is my fallback plan along with my wife. So I will be putting a surveillance eye on other opportunities for possible funding to unveil Reliever as I plan, while supporting Jollyfoods for more growth. And one of the opportunity I just came across, just 3 days ago was Good Fund. Yes, Good Fund, which by their promise of ability to invest in even idea or just deck, I think Reliever should be able to fit in and secure funding from them. So in the next couple of 2 to 3 weeks, I will be putting an application together for that. this this is fallback. Jollyfood is fallback plan for a liver that I'll be focusing on to grow more than 2 months ago. All right, okay, that's that. Okay.